Yo, what is up, channel? Today we're going to be talking about my top three mistakes that I made as a gym goer. That if I skipped them, then I probably would be much more ahead than I am now in terms of my journey. So, to not waste any time, let's get into number one. Number one is thinking that losing weight has anything else to do has well, I'm sorry thinking that losing weight isn't just about calories in calories out, right? Basically, um when you're trying to lose weight, right, when you start off, you kind of being given advice by people who it really hasn't worked, and they have methods that, while can work, aren't like the reason why, So a lot of people will be like, oh, you gotta cut out carbs because carbs make you fat, right? Oh, you gotta hop on this diet or this diet, you gotta hop on this cleanse because it'll make things like that's not how it works, right? Losing weight is just about calories in, calories out. And I think the reason why people kind of mix it up, right, is because one, these things do work if you do them properly, right? Because at the end of the day, it comes into calories in, calories out, and I'm gonna focus on the carb one. Foods with carbs do tend to have a bit higher calories, especially the carbs that we tend to eat tend to be more processed, therefore they're in higher in calories. So cutting them out does lower the amount of calories that you have in general, right? But that's not the reason that you lose weight. The reason is the lowered calories, not the lowered carbs. It just happens to be that carbs would have more calories compared to whatever you're replacing them with, which would probably just be vegetables, right? So, and I think the reason where that comes from is that most people don't really understand what calories are. So they tend to put band-aids not even band, they just tend to give reasons because they don't understand the core of how it works. So to help you understand, so you don't make the same mistake as me of just writing it off, is basically, as humans, to do anything, we need energy, right? To function, we need a certain amount of energy. That's why calories, if you convert them, you can convert them to kJ, kilojoules, which is energy. So as humans, we need energy. And where we get energy is from food, right? Plants would get it from photosynthesis. We get our energy from eating food because food has energy, the kilojoules, the calories, right? So when we eat the energy, we have a minimum amount of energy that we use every day to function, right? A minimum amount of energy that we use to function. That's our maintenance calories. If we ate that amount of calories, we'd stay the same weight and function exactly the same as we do normally, right? And then what happens when you eat over that maintenance amount of calories is that your body, since it was made for surviving, right? Back in the day, before we kind of manipulated the world to work for us, right? Back in the day, what would happen is that there could be periods, long periods of time, where we wouldn't have food, right? Either because of famine or just a bad hunting season or something. There'd be periods where we wouldn't have food. So, a way that our body evolved to help us with that is that when we eat more than we need to just survive, instead of just like dropping it all for getting rid of the excess, it'll just keep the excess on us to use for later, right? That's where fat comes in. Fat is just stored energy, right? The stored kilojoules, the stored calories. And what happens when we go into so that's what happens when we eat in a surplus. And when we go into a deficit, since we're now eating below the minimum amount of calories that we need to maintain our existence, right? Our body starts taking from its stored energy storages to help us exist for longer without eating the necessary amount that we need. And that's how you lose weight, right? So at the end of the day, it's all about calories in, calories out. It's all about the calorie deficit, right? And if you think that it's about anything else, then you'll probably be stopgapped because you'll think that, oh, so as long as I eat just vegetables and meats, then I'll be fine. As long as I just don't eat carbs, I'll be fine. And not only is that most likely unsustainable because it will probably be such a big jump from what you're already doing, but also it's just incorrect. You can still eat only vegetables and meat and get fat because you're not using the right meat. You're not measuring your progress, tracking your progress based on the right mechanism, right? So remember, just calories in, calories out. That's the first one. The second, um, the second thing that I wish I knew earlier was not to underestimate the effects that cardio has in your progression, right? A lot of people, and I don't know why, I don't know where it came from, but there's now this is probably from like the more scammy fitness influencers, but there's now come this idea that cardio is negligible. Like, oh, it doesn't matter because after you do cardio, you'll be so tired that you'll just move less, and therefore it cancels it out. And while there is some truth to after doing cardio, you do move a bit less, right? Because you are a bit more tired. It's not it's not by enough that it would completely stopgap the amount that cardio did. Like it's a pretty negligible amount, the amount that you move less. Especially since at your default, you're probably not moving that much anyway. Because most of us spend our days on our computers, right? Our computers, phones, like we mostly spend it sitting down. So the amount of exercise that you're doing regardless was already low anyway. You weren't moving around a lot anyway. So the amount that you move less after doing cardio is so negligible because it's not like you're moving. It's not like you're going from, oh yeah, I'm always going up and down, walking around to, oh no, I've done cardio, so I'm now just going to sit down. No, it's, oh, I'm sitting down and I'm fidgeting a bit. And maybe after cardio, I'll fidget a bit less. But like, it doesn't mean that the cardio did do it. Cardio still will do, if you did 300 calories of cardio, right? You'll maybe lose like 25, 50 calories from like your fidgeting. Like it's not a large amount that it affects you. It's basically nothing. So don't underestimate the power of cardio and especially consistent cardio because your cardio doesn't need to be intense. It doesn't need to be crazy intense. It just needs to be cardio that you're always doing, right? Because it's just a thing that adds on. It either lets you eat more or just like increases the deficit that you're in. So if you're cardio like me, I've kind of switched around cardios depending on the time. So at some points I was trying to do running, and then at some point, because I'd alternate between running and walking depending on how I was feeling. At some point I was doing skipping. Right now I'm doing cycling, though that's more just because I haven't really been going to the gym heavy. I've been mainly just like this week I haven't gone to the gym once. Like yesterday, yesterday I woke up and then there was no power, and because there was no power, the water pump wasn't pumping water, so there was no water either. So until that was fixed, I was like, I'm not gonna go to the gym, cause one, then I have to do all the opening of the garage and shit, and I was being lazy. But I was like, if I come back home and there's just no, because there's no power and my phone wasn't on the charger. So my phone was basically dying. So I was like, I can't go to the gym. I'm not doing cardio with no music. And then also I was like, no, but I'm also not I don't want to go to the gym and there's just no water at home and then I need a shower. I don't like showering at the gym. I won't lie. So yeah, I dodged the gym yesterday and I just did cardio at home, right? And then because I want to start doing cardio in the morning because cardio is so important towards the general weight loss journey, right? It might increase your appetite a bit depending on how you do it, but overall, you burn more calories, which is the main thing for me. It makes you healthier overall. It helps with your heart health. It's just cardio isn't something that you should write off because you're lazy. Because that's why most people write it off. They write it off because they're lazy. There's no other reason that you write off cardio. Because there's always some form of cardio that you can do. It doesn't have to be running. It doesn't have to be cycling like I do. It doesn't have to be. Your cardio can be, oh, I like playing basketball, so I go and play basketball every day, right? I hit 30 minutes of just on the courts, playing with some people, and then I go home. You enjoy basketball, so that's fine. Don't underwrite cardio just because you're lazy to do it. Because if you're not going to do it, accept that you're being lazy, but I'd rather you do it just because it'll make your journey much easier, right? So that's the second thing. So far, thinking that losing weight has anything to do with outside of calories in, calories out, and undermining the importance of cardio. And then the last one, and I would say, all of these are pretty important. So this is also a very important one. I would say insanely important for my own journey. It's something that I very much made a mistake in, is prioritizing the exercises over the consistency, right? Because a mistake that I made a lot on this journey is that when I was trying to make progress, instead of thinking, oh, okay, if I want to make progress, I just need to continue doing the same thing that I always do, just like consistently every day, because I had a problem of I'll do it for a bit and then I'll stop and then I'll do it and I'll find a new routine and then I'll do that for like a few days or something, then I'd stop and then switch to a new routine and shit like that, right? Which, to be fair, it was me finding a routine that I like, but that wasn't the reason that I was doing it, right? Because I was like, oh, but oh, with these exercises, I won't get what I want and shit like that, right? But I was focusing on the wrong thing because most of the progress that you'll make is very much based just on you work out what the muscle group work once a week, either the muscle group once a week, regardless of how you do it, and then just do that consistently. You'll make most of your progress purely by being consistent. As long as you have a good base workout, which for most of us, we're probably watching someone who has a good base workout that they've put out already, right? Just search up a Jeff Nippert video. Jesse James West probably has an old video on like good workout routine. Greg Doucette probably, I know he has his free workout program, right? There's YouTubers that you watch whose physiques that you want, that you can just look at and be like, oh yeah, that's a good workout routine. Let me do that. I mean, hell, if you want me to, I'll probably do it in the future anyway. But I'll post once I'm done with my whole transformation, or even just earlier. I'll post the workout routine that I did beforehand last year and the progress that gave me, and then the workouts routine that I've been doing this year, like separate things, because they're two different routines that I was hitting. But yeah, like focusing too much on the actual routine and exercises over consistency, because you can have the best exercise selection you want. If you're only doing that routine once every 2 weeks, then like it doesn't matter. You're not gonna make the progress. Someone with worse exercise selections is gonna get more progress than you with your fine-tuned special ass, fucking I lean this degree and I do this workout, this crazy new workout that will grow your biceps 3 times crazy. Like, no, just do, if you want to grow your biceps, just make life simple, because the actual workouts, the actual exercises don't matter as much as you think they do. They help, but they don't matter as much as you think they do, right? If you want to get a good workout, just pick each of your muscles and then pick an exercise for them, and and just do that consistently and you'll be fine, right? You want chest, do what's it called, incline bench press, normal bench press, boom, you have your thing. You want shoulders, shoulder press, lat raise and rear delta fly, boom, you're done. Oh, back, you get a vertical pull and a horizontal pull, you're fine. Any one of them doesn't matter. Legs, do squats, and then there's the machines, leg extension, calf curl, not calf, hamstring to curl, calf raise, done. You're fine. Do an ab exercise, maybe two, crunch and like a lower ab exercise. Boom, you're done. That's your exercises. You're fine. Like, everyone overcomplicates it for themselves. You're all looking for the perfect workout to make you, that'll make you explode. Oh, after I started doing this, I exploded. Oh, after I started using this rep range, I exploded. After I started using this rest range, I exploded. And like, yeah, they help. They definitely do have an effect. But as a beginner, it's not something that you should be worrying about. Like, as a beginner, things like, oh, this rep range has such an effect. Like, bro, it doesn't matter, dude. Just use the normal rep range. 8 to 12 normal rep range. You don't need some person telling you about some special rep range that made them blow up so much, because they maybe it did make them blow up, but that's after they were already training for years. Like, they've been doing just the basics for how long. You don't need all this fancy stuff. You don't need all these crazy workouts. Oh, if you lean this much and you do it from here, then you'll get some extra stretch, and the lengthened partial position. Like, yeah, it's cool, right? And it definitely does do something, but it's like a 5% increase. It's like it's the I don't like this word, like a fine tuning, but it's like if you're already there, or add that something something. Add extra when you're already there, but you get 80% of your gains from just the basics. You don't need all this extra stuff. Just do the basics, do them well, and do them consistently, and you'll be fine, right? Do the basics, do them well, do them every 3 times every week, 4 times every week, and just do that consistently. And guess what? At the end, you'll get the physique that you're striving for, right? Well, maybe not the exact physique, but you get what I'm saying. You'll get the physique. You'll reach your goals, right? Don't make my mistake and just focus on the exercise too much while ignoring what will actually make me the gains, which is the actual routine, right? And the actual consistency. Because I'll tell you now, I think I've made the most progress this year than I have any of the other years beforehand, right? Especially last year at the end, I started making good progress. But I think overall, this year, I've made the most progress in my physique. Like overall, just the most progress, right? Now, some of that comes from since I'm losing weight, as I'm building the muscle and stuff, since I'm losing the amount of fat, it's also more visible. So the changes look greater, right? But I think just overall, like I have much better shape than I did last year. You know, my shoulders are a bit bigger. My arms are bigger. My arms are stronger too. Um, yeah, I think I just have much better shape overall compared to last year. And I'll tell you what helped me. The only thing I changed was that I wasn't as focused. The only thing that changed wasn't even my exercises. Because all that changed in terms of that was just me splitting things up. Like from changing from my 6 day a week, 3 days twice to 4 days, is that I just split the exercises that I already had in the workout up. So it wasn't the exercises that changed. It was just me being more consistent. All that changed was that I went to the gym more this year. I exercised more this year. I tracked my calories more this year. I did more cardio this year. But the only thing that changed was just my consistency, right? Because what you do doesn't matter in terms of exercises, right? What you do doesn't matter. It's just how much you do it and how frequently you do it. But yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching. I think someone's at the gate. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Leave a comment. Thanks.